Is she ready?
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I've been joined by my two amazing, gorgeous, very patient co-hosts, Wren from Wren Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hey, guys.
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch channel, as well as where she sometimes plays Sarah, right here on Help for the Guildless.
Hi! And you're damn right we're patient. You are blessed by the gods to have two such patient co-hosts.
I have actually been out of commission for the last 2 weeks, and that's why you've been very, very, very patient, and I appreciate that. See, I was telling you, it's nothing but cleavage. But, let's be honest here, that's why the people are here. They don't want to see me, they want to see the ladies. And their girls. So that's why we're here. But before we get into any of that stuff, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Mitzi was here first. How's it going, Mitzi? She says she's missed MSNBC. Wolvenia is here. How's it going? Rational Outlaw, hello.
Big T.
Big T. Zar says they were going to go to sleep early. Too bad, Zar, you're going to be up late. Apathetic Ranter, how's it going? Yes, it was Castlevania music. Benina is here. How's it going, Pen? Ray, of course.
Hey, Pen.
Let's see who else. Ali showed up. How's it going, Ali? Ben C. Clever Mick generic name is here as well. How's it going, everyone? How's it going?
Hello.
So,
Hi.
I've been laid up with some back injuries, but you two must have had some forms of adventure. So why don't you regale us with what's been going on in your wonderful lives?
I worked 89 hours in 2 weeks with a
Ouch.
shit ton of pickup shifts.
How's it going, Brianna?
Oh, wait.
And if Brianna is here, that means Tom is lurking in chat somewhere. So how's it going, Tom?
Is my camera better now?
Yes, your
Okay,
camera is better.
I'm not sure what happened. My camera settings got all skewed.
Yeah, it happens.
Hi, Brianna.
All right. Well,
Man Squatch, you are correct. He has patient co-hosts, and his doctors have a patient.
well,
Patients all around.
as soon as I find an actual doctor. Are you
Which
dropping
maybe-
things?
Yes, I am. Completely.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Brianna says, stretch my calves to help my back. It's weird, but it works. All right, I'll do that. So 89 hours with a bunch of pickup shifts.
I was scheduled for like 35 hours a week.
Well, I mean, overtime is always good.
Yeah, and your kids will appreciate having a zombie for a mom.
Zombie was what I was half the time.
Oh, believe me.
Multiple doubles in a row that involved closings and
Ew.
working during the day. That's it's fun.
Oh yeah, around Christmas time, that's basically what happens to me, and will be happening to Antoine.
Yeah.
And will
Last year was
probably
a light Christmas, so got
yeah,
out
and
of
probably
a lot
will
of the
be
headwinds.
happening to me too, because when you have coworkers that, well, one legit reason didn't mind filling in for. One I filled in for because they went to jail.
Well, I mean,
What?
that's a good reason to fill in for them.
Yeah.
All right. So, do either of you remember what we started with last time?
An article.
Yeah.
Something involving news?
Yes. I understand that's what we started with, you smartasses.
I couldn't tell you what we started with last.
Big T says we started with cringe, so why don't we start with science?
'Cause I'm
As-
still eating, you jerk.
I don't see a problem with this.
Jerk. Alright, fine. Let's see. Since this one is topical,
Topical. Fun.
Uh-huh.
You want the space one, I'm assuming.
no.
No.
Amazon wildfires are horrifying, but they're not destroying Earth's oxygen supply.
Oh, you want that one.
Even if the entire Amazon rainforest burned down, we'd be okay. This is an article from Live Science.
Burn it to the ground!
Fires in the Amazon rainforest have captured attention worldwide in recent days. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. As always, I will butcher these names. I apologize if I accidentally swear in another language. The Brazilian president, who took office in 2019, pledged his campaign to reduce environmental protection and increase agricultural development in the Amazon, and he appears to have followed through on that promise. The resurgence of forest clearing in the Amazon, which had decreased more than 80% following a peak in 2004, is alarming for many reasons. Tropical forests harbor many species of plants and animals found nowhere else. They are important refuges for indigenous people and contain enormous stores of carbon as wood and other organic matter that would otherwise contribute to the climate crisis.
No, not carbon. Wait, so you're saying he actually got elected on pledging to get rid or to reduce environmental protections?
I know, right?
The Brazilian people are a bit
Zero
odd.
fucks right now.
How's it going, Cuttlefish?
Where was I? Some media accounts have suggested that fires in the Amazon also threaten the atmospheric oxygen that we breathe. French President Emmanuel Macron tweeted on August 22nd that the Amazon rainforest, the lungs which produce 20% of our planet's oxygen, is on fire. The oft-repeated claim that the Amazon rainforest produces 20% of our planet's oxygen is based on a misunderstanding. In fact, nearly all of Earth's breathable oxygen originated in the oceans, and there is enough of it to last for millions of years. There are many reasons to be appalled by this year's Amazon fires, but depleting the Earth's oxygen supply is not one of them.
Well, I mean, Macron made the statement in between the protests with the Yellow Jackets that are going on while they were dodging bottles of wine. I mean, they're drinking themselves stupid, but it's the French.
Okay. As an atmospheric scientist, much of my work focuses on exchanges of various gases between Earth's surface and the atmosphere.
You're eating chili, you're going to have plenty of gases.
You want to shut up and let me finish this article, please? My food's getting cold because of you. As an atmospheric scientist, much of my work focuses on exchanges of various gases between Earth's surface and the atmosphere. Many elements, including oxygen, constantly cycle between land-based ecosystems, the oceans, and the atmosphere in ways that can be measured and quantified. Nearly all free oxygen in the air is produced by plants through photosynthesis. About 1/3 of land photosynthesis occurs in tropical forests, the largest of which is in the Amazon basin. But virtually all of the oxygen produced by photosynthesis each year is consumed by living organisms and fires. Trees constantly shed dead leaves, twigs, roots, and other litter, which feeds a rich ecosystem of organisms, mostly insects and microbes. The microbes consume oxygen in that process. Forest plants produce lots of oxygen, and forest microbes consume a lot of oxygen. As a result, net production of oxygen by forests, and indeed all land plants, is very close to zero.
On top of that, there are forest fires in the Amazon jungle and regular forests regularly. It happens.
It's important to have those. Otherwise, you get buildups of highly flammable things, and instead of just having a forest fire, you have a firestorm.
Which is bad. It sounds cool, but it's bad.
So bad. For oxygen to accumulate in the air, some of the organic matter that plants produce through photosynthesis must be removed from circulation before it can be consumed. Usually this happens when it's rapidly buried in places without oxygen, most commonly in deep-sea mud under waters that have already been depleted of oxygen. This happens in areas of the ocean where high levels of nutrients fertilize large blooms of algae. Dead algae and other detritus sink into the dark waters where microbes feed on it. Like their counterparts on land, they consume oxygen to do this, depleting it from the water around them. Below depths where microbes have stripped waters of oxygen, leftover organic matter falls to the ocean floor and is buried there. Oxygen that the algae produced at the surface as it grew remains in the air because it is not consumed by decomposers. This buried plant matter at the bottom of the ocean is the source of oil and gas. A smaller amount of plant matter gets buried in oxygen-free conditions on land, mostly in peat bogs, where the water table prevents microbial decomposition. This is the source material for coal. Only a tiny fraction, perhaps 0.0001% of global photosynthesis is diverted by burial this way, and thus adds to atmospheric oxygen. But over millions of years, the residual oxygen left by this tiny imbalance between growth and decomp has accumulated to form the reservoir of breathable oxygen on which all animal life depends. It's hovered around 21% of the volume of the atmosphere for millions of years.
So, Cuttlefish says the fires are on farmland around the rainforest. So basically it's turning the Amazon into a giant hot box because they're not actually producing anything but pot.
Even though plant photosynthesis is ultimately responsible for breathable oxygen, only a vanishingly tiny fraction of that plant growth actually adds to the store of oxygen in the air. Even if all organic matter on Earth were burned at once, less than 1% of the world's oxygen would be consumed. In sum, Brazil's reversal on protecting the Amazon does not meaningfully threaten atmospheric oxygen. Even a huge increase in forest fires would produce changes in oxygen that are difficult to measure. There's enough oxygen in the air to last millions of years, and the amount is set by geology rather than land use. The fact that this upsurge in deforestation threatens some of the most biodiverse and carbon-rich landscapes on Earth is reason enough to oppose it.
Oh, and Cuttlefish also says soy. It's
Yes.
burning soy.
And this was written by Scott Denning.
I don't know who that is.
Apparently he writes for Planet Earth.
Good for him. I did not know Planet Earth needed a voice like that, but, whatever.
Either way, he says that it's not something to worry about all that much, but it is, at least for oxygen levels. But the fact that it's destroying, the rainforest, probably still a bad thing.
Still a bad thing, but you don't have to go on the oxygen level thing.
Yeah, we're not going to be needing to carry around little bottles of oxygen just to get through the day.
Well, that's good to know. So, all right. Well, do we want to go with Florida Man or do we want to go with Cringe? Oh, I have to say hello. How's it going, Best Remy? Yeah, we don't need... Well, you're a cuttlefish. You breathe underwater, so you're fine. So, do we want to go with Cringe, or do we want to go with Florida Man?
You know what? You're the one who's supposed to be running this show. You should probably know the answer to that.
I am being polite and asking what my hosts want to do.
I can always go Cringe.
Alright, Cringe it is.
Alright. We are going to go with... You know what? Middle-aged crime. A woman who uses a power saw to break into a Botox clinic.
What? No! What? There's a video. Oh my god, there's a video.
Yes.
Alright, we're going to watch... we're going to watch a woman break into a Botox clinic with a power saw.
This happened in Sugar Land, Texas. Police in suburban Houston are looking for a woman who used a power tool to break into a Botox clinic and steal anti-aging products. Sugar Land police said the surveillance cameras captured the burglary Friday night at a Botox RN medical spa. Will sit behind me quietly. The footage shows the woman approach the locked door of the spa and try unsuccessfully to open it. And then she retrieved a battery-operated grinding saw from a light-colored Mercedes SUV and used it to open the clinic's front doors.
Why did she have that in her car to begin with?
Because she was planning the crime.
Ahead of time.
Now, to be fair, Big T says at least it wasn't the Sith army knife.
Oh, God, yeah, that. Authorities say the woman stole an undisclosed amount of product from the clinic before driving away, and they don't know who she is.
They have her on camera. It's right there.
Yeah, but they don't know who she is, her identity yet.
Well, all they have to do is contact China, get the facial recognition software that they're working on there, where it's going to access your entire bank account and let you pay for things without actually, paying for things, and then they can find out who she is. But Tom Leach has an idea of why she had to break into the Botox clinic.
Why?
Tom Leach says she wanted to inject her man's balls to get out the wrinkles. She wanted them smooth as eggs.
No.
Maybe.
Question. They know she went to her car, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they just look at the license plate?
Because it doesn't show on the video.
Oh, okay. I can't see the video because I'm busy eating.
It doesn't show on the video. They just shows her. And apparently she's a middle-aged woman who's desperate for anti-aging stuff. So much so she broke in and stole Botox.
She's addicted to looking like she got stung by bees. How's it going, Damn Alien? Damn Alien says facial recognition doesn't work if you have enough Botox. That's true, because you don't look like yourself. Oh, God. This is... Are you really... I mean, people have died from injecting Botox the wrong way. Is she that addicted?
Yes.
Who here in the chat, or even out of you two, have you guys seen 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yeah.
There was an episode on 1,000 Ways to Die where a woman had she died from Botox injections because the person who did the injection gave her the wrong stuff. And it paralyzed her in a spa, and she could not do anything and, drown.
Mm-hmm.
We can only hope this happens to her.
How does the spa fuck up that badly that they paralyze somebody and don't notice?
No. It was an at-home thing.
It was an at-home job.
Okay. I take that back, spa. That doesn't exist.
How's it going, Zerg? Zerg says the botulinum toxin, which is Botox, is one of the most toxic substances in the world. That's why it puffs up the skin, because it's basically stinging the living shit out of your cells. It's not good.
But to some women, they think it makes them look younger.
And some people think that excessive amounts of drinking and driving is a good idea.
Yeah.
And those people don't need to be on the planet anymore.
No. Not at all.
Alright, let's move on to some interesting floor demand, shall we? I have a couple.
It's about time.
Well, we're talking about Botox, and Zerg brings up food poisoning and things like that. You guys have gone to drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Ishtar is still eating, so this is suitable.
Don't make me hate you.
Shush. You've been to the drive-thru that takes way too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, most of the time, your solution for that is just, either wait because you're hungry, or drive away.
Mm-hmm.
This Florida man did neither. Florida man hits McDonald's drive-thru worker for taking too long.
Of course.
Asshole. What an asshole.
Leesburg, Florida. A Florida man got out of the car he was in and hit a McDonald's drive-thru employee in the face because he didn't receive his food fast enough, according to the Leesburg Police Department. The victim said Sherman Lee Brown, there we go, 3 names, was in the passenger seat of his girlfriend's silver Ford Focus. Well, that's his problem right there. At about 3:20 a.m. on July 30th, when he started getting angry about how long they had been in the drive-thru. He got out of the Focus and began yelling at the occupants of the vehicle in front of his. When the Focus got to the drive-thru window, Brown began screaming at the employee, calling her derogatory names and telling her to hurry the... Well, we're going to say fuck, because I don't care. Hurry the fuck up, according to the report. Police said the victim told Brown that she wouldn't serve him unless he stopped the verbal abuse, which I honestly believe is okay. Which is when he got out of the vehicle again and threatened to hit the victim. The employee tried to close the drive-thru window, but Brown hit her in the face, knocking off her glasses and causing redness and swelling on her cheek and eye, as well as a cut on her lip, records show. So he can actually be charged with assault and battery. Police said the incident was captured on surveillance video. So, just to let you know, for those of you who do the funny things in the drive-thru, there's cameras. They're seeing you do them. The silver Ford Focus was pulled over the next day, and police said they were able to identify Brown as the suspect in the case. He and his girlfriend were trespassed from the McDonald's. The victim was able to identify Brown in a photo lineup, records show. Brown, 34, was arrested Wednesday on a charge of burglary and battery with one prior conviction. Who is shocked that someone jumps that quickly to violence has a prior conviction.
No, really?
My hand wasn't up. I'm not shocked.
Give me a second, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Not next
Doing
floor.
all right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm fine. Just had to stretch a little bit.
Okay. Let's see. Since we're talking about crimes, if Sky News wants to cooperate, we will talk about the first crime in space.
Everyone is talking about the first crime in space.
Provided Sky decides to behave. Which it's not wanting to. Hold on a second. Fuck.
Tom Leach says, no, he wasn't an asshole. He is an asshole. Gunnery Private Philip J. Asshole. And then Sabine Lifewind, how's it going? Says, women are the worst space criminals. And the only space criminals.
Good night, apathetic ranter.
Have a good one, apathetic ranter.
Oh, come on.
Would you like me to read it for you?
No, I just need to pull it up on something that is not...
Not Internet Explorer?
Fuck off. DM me the link, please. Because my Internet Explorer is deciding to be a piece of shit right now.
I can't believe you still use Internet Explorer.
Because I have all my tabs saved on it, and for the most part, it works fine.
Except for when it's important, like right now.
It is not my fault that Sky News has decided to be an asshole.
No, it's Internet Explorer's fault. You're like the last person that is using Internet Explorer.
I like it. Okay? A leading astronaut denies accusations of identity theft and improper access to her ex-partner's private financial records. For couples splitting up, it can feel as if your ex-partner is going to the ends of the earth. For one woman, she believes her former spouse's disagreeable behavior extended into space. NASA is investigating a claim that an astronaut accessed the bank account of her ex-partner while living at the International Space Station, according to the New York Times. In what could be the first crime committed in space, astronaut Anne McClain is accused of identity theft and improper access to her ex-wife's private financial records.
Wait. She looks like that. Oh, sorry. She looks like that, and you're telling me she's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked. Okay, my feign indignance is over.
Are you done?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Miss McClain, who is thought to be on the short list to become the first woman on the moon, said she accessed the account but did nothing wrong. Her ex-partner, Summer Warden, is reported to have complained to the Federal Trade Commission, and her family lodged a complaint with NASA's Office of Inspector General. Miss McClain has returned to Earth after 6 months on the ISS and is contesting the complaint, telling the New York Times she was monitoring the family's finances in the same manner that had been previously agreed between the two women.
Hold on. You're being browser shamed, for one. Sabine says lesbian space pirates from outer space, which sounds like an amazingly bad Skinamax movie.
Right.
Ray says the last time he saw her, Al Bundy was calling her a chicken. Which, bravo, sir. You win tonight. Ben C says, hey, it's better looking than Lena Dunham. We do not want to judge what she identifies as. Oops, see, I just did it right there. Oh well.
Yep. The best Remy says, space lesbian committing the first space crime. Hooray for diversity.
There we go.
And Sabine says, I demand my space lawyer.
Tom Leach is right. What the fuck is up with crazy female astronauts breaking the law? Do you remember way back when the chick that went cross country in a diaper to go try and kill her lover's wife or whatever? Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeesh.
I have no explanation for my gender. So. She strenuously denies she did anything improper, her lawyer said. Miss McLean and Miss Warden, an Air Force intelligence officer, married in 2014 and had been raising Miss Warden's son together before they split in 2018.
How's it going, Vin? I hope you're feeling better. So, yes, apparently women have cornered the market on astronaut crime. You have really broken that glass ceiling there, ladies.
Well, the patriarchy has basically kept us from cornering the market on any other crimes on Earth. I mean, we might as well start in space.
Aren't you supposed to be back in the kitchen?
Yes. But you also want me out here, so make up your mind.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to some cringe while I decide.
All right. So we shall move on to stupid crime. Since we're going to this thing, Washington man reports his truck stolen while he was robbing a store nearby.
Wait. He was robbing a store nearby, and someone stole his truck.
Mm-hmm. And he called the cops.
That is karma getting just a little bit ahead of her job.
How do you have the balls to call the cops? What were you doing, sir, when your truck was stolen? Well, you see that building over there, officer? There's a reason the window was broken. I was making sure I was protecting it from anyone who decided that they were going to try and steal from it.
Totally. Police say a man in Washington reported his truck stolen as he happened to be nearby, allegedly robbing a store himself. William Kelly called the authorities on Sunday around 6 a.m. to report he left his keys on the seat of his red 1992 Chevrolet pickup truck in Kennewick, a city roughly 140 miles southwest of Spokane, and someone just stole it.
Oh my god, I know that town.
Ali says she rang up a lady from at work the other day who asked for a carry-out, and she had a purse full of stolen stuff.
Oy.
Yeah, damn alien, you're right. No honor among thieves.
Yeah. Kelly said he saw a man riding a bicycle who discovered the keys, then threw his bike in the bed of the truck and fled, according to a Facebook post from the Kennewick Police Department.
Kennewick.
When authorities investigated surveillance video from the area, they noticed a few facts that Kelly was at the location because he was stealing items from a business across the street. Kelly was booked in the county jail on a warrant and was charged with burglary for his alleged offense.
You are a special kind of stupid at that point. I'm sorry.
Speaking of special kinds of something, apparently Wren is a special kind of evil.
Why? Okay.
Vin says, Wren, I want to thank you for such a good idea, because now I'm getting Ichabod to read 50 Shades of Paleontology. I'm sorry, what?
Shades of what?
It's 50 Shades of Grey, only take Christian Grey out and replace him with a ancient were-raptor who does things with his female assistant.
Is this a Chuck Tingle book? Because it sounds like a Chuck Tingle book.
Did you say were-raptor?
Were-raptor.
Like a werewolf, but a velociraptor.
Yes.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. So what you're saying is that he turns into a tiny 2-foot creature.
No, giant. It's like human-sized raptor.
Yeah, Sabine, I'm pretty sure it means sex things.
Well, breeding things, because he needs his assistant to help breed more were dinosaurs. It's kind of part of the plot.
There's a plot.
Very loose ideas that thrown together.
All right. I have questions, but the questions...
I don't want you to ask them.
Hey, I'll give you this. 50 Shades of Paleontology is more fun to read than 50 Shades of Grey.
That's not hard.
Yeah, apparently that's not something that she can say in the book.
Touche.
Ray says he likes his parody better, which, believe it or not, Ray put together a parody of 50 Shades of Grey, the first chapter, in about 20 minutes, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, if you want a good one, there's a book called 50 Shades of Stupid. It's basically a bulletin point. It's for the whole book of reasons why 50 Shades of Grey is stupid.
Aside from the person who...
From
masochistic.
What I gathered from the bio, husband who was forced to suffer through 50 Shades of Grey, and then came up with a bulletin point as to every reason why he hated it.
Brianna Hayes says, I like all kinds of sexy were-animal books, but that sounds fucked up.
You have not heard the one where it's were-raptor and it involves gay sex.
That is a Chuck Tingle book. That has got to be a Chuck Tingle book.
It's not. It's a... Were dinosaurs is its own...
there is a genre of were dinosaurs.
Yeah. Taken by... My very first YouTube video was reviewing a book called Taken by a T-Rex about a gay woman who fucks a T-Rex.
I actually don't know what to say to that.
I have even more questions. Does he use the little tiny arms in foreplay? Or can he not reach?
He does use the really little tiny arms. It's fun.
It's giving a new it's giving a new term to fisting.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's dinosaur porn books out there. They exist.
Alright, I'm going to give you guys a choice. We're talking about stupid criminals, and we're on to Florida Man.
Uh-huh.
So, I have two... Well, they're all arrest things, but... do you want to hear about the 2 words that a man decided to attack someone with a machete for? Or... do you want to hear about, well, what's in the title?
Go with what's in the title.
Alright. There's no hot dogs in that chili, are there?
No.
Okay.
We don't have hot dogs.
Oh, you'll hear both, Sabine, don't worry. Florida man arrested after allegedly performing a botched castration surgery.
That's gotta hurt.
Questions.
He didn't know if he was coming or going.
So many questions.
Questions.
Because you don't hear a title like that and not have questions.
Oh, do you want to hear that? Do you want to hear the tagline?
Yes.
The suspect, 74-year-old Gary Van Ryswyk, there are no vowels in that last name, said he met the victim on a eunuch fetish website.
Of course.
Oh, for God's sake.
A Florida man was arrested for... I want to thank Ben C. for this one. A Florida man was arrested for allegedly performing an illegal castration surgery on another man who he had met on a fetish website for eunuchs, authorities said Tuesday. This one is a little, let's just say, sensitive, Highlands County Sheriff's Department said in a statement. You could even say it's kinda nuts.
His pun game is on point.
A deputy went to a home just before midnight on August 18th, checking on an aborted 911 call in Sebring, about 90 miles southeast of Tampa, officials say. The door was answered by Gary Van Ryswyk, 74, and he told the deputy he had just performed a castration, as deputies found the man on the bed with a towel over his groin, which was bleeding heavily, according to a Highland County Sheriff's Department statement. Nearby, there was a pink container which held 2 bloody parts that had recently been much closer to the victim. The sheriff's statement continued. I don't... I guess to get... Sabine is asking why do we need to know how far it is from Tampa. It's to give people kind of a sense of where it is in the state. The victim was taken to the hospital and was later flown to the regional medical center. The victim is in stable condition, according to the sheriff's office. Just missing his twig and berries. Van Ryswyk was made an operating room in his own house, complete with medical equipment, painkillers, and a camera to record the procedure.
Why? Why would you record this?
Because reasons.
Van Ryswyk told investigators he had met the victim on a dark web castration fetish site called eunuch.com. The suspect told the victim that he'd performed castrations on animals and had even removed one of his own testicles in 2012. He also said he had done a similar procedure on a man in a local motel a few years ago that turned out pretty much like this one, but couldn't remember the other man's name. The man went to the hospital, but law enforcement was not notified. Van Ryswyk was booked Monday on suspicion of felony practicing medicine without a license, resulting in bodily injury. A second-degree felony, his bond was set at $250,000. The sheriff's office added, Van Ryswyk has dropped the ball on this one.
Oh. Really?
Oh my god.
Ray says, one deputy is on record saying this kind of thing took some balls, while the suspect replied, nope, those are right here.
That was actually a good one.
Sabine says, here comes Johnny with his pecker in his hand. He's the one-ball man and he's off to the rodeo.
That's a song lyric, Sabine? Holy crap.
So, the man looks like an evil Santa Claus.
Yeah. I take it that's a Santa men don't want to see.
Well, he's definitely got something special in the stockings for the kiddies. Well, that had some science to do with it. I mean, he knows how to do the castration, but apparently he did it on himself. That's I've heard
You would think it would occur to him at some point that, you know, the first time I did this, it didn't turn out really well. Maybe I should not do it again.
No, he said it did fine. Man
The
had
one
to
in
go
the
to
motel that said it ended up pretty much like this one?
Yeah. I'm assuming he means that the person is still alive, so it went just fine.
Okay.
So let's move on to some science, shall we?
Amelia Earhart's remains were never found. This horrifying theory could explain why.
She ate herself to death.
A strange and disturbing possibility resurfaces as a new mission is underway to find her aircraft. There's a new effort underway to discover what happened to aviation legend Amelia Earhart, who vanished 82 years ago along with navigator Fred Noonan during an ill-fated attempt to fly around the world. Explorers Robert Ballard, who found the Titanic and the Bismarck, and Alison Fundis, the Chief Operating Officer for Ocean Exploration Trust, are leading the expedition to find the long-lost Lockheed Model 10E Electra off of Nikumaroro Island in Kiribati. I have no idea where that even is. While they search the waters, a National Geographic team plans to scour the island.
So what you're saying is Alison Fundis decided to fund this?
Yes. You and your bad puns. I let her get to the disturbing thing about what happened to Amelia Earhart.
I'm going to come into your office. I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Just because that was horrible. Like worse than dad joke horrible. You're proud of yourself, aren't you?
I'm very proud of myself, yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to break you of your pun addiction.
Good luck. But one possible fate might be too horrible to ponder. National Geographic reported that according to one theory, one or both may have survived a crash landing on a remote Pacific atoll, and after some period of time, died there. Then they were devoured by crabs, including massive coconut crabs that can measure 3 feet across from leg to leg, that dragged their bones into burrows.
No, I'm good with thinking she just crashed in the ocean. I don't want to think about her getting torn apart by giant coconut crabs.
You don't want to think about giant coconut crabs ripping apart her body?
No.
Oh, and just by the way, guys, there's 21 people watching. Smash the like button. Come on. It's only 10 likes. National Geographic... I already read that part. This theory could explain why colonists who attempted to settle on Nikumaroro Island in Kiribati, then called Gardiner's Island, discovered 13 human bones. British colonial officer Gerard Gallagher, who found the bones in 1940, claimed the rest of the remains had been dragged off by crabs. Tests at the time suggested that the bones didn't belong to Earhart, but the bones have since been lost, making it impossible to subject them to more modern tests. If the crab theory was correct, some of those bones could still be there on the island, just scattered and buried. The International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, which has been searching for years for signs of Earhart or her aircraft, posted a video in 2014 of one of the island's famously giant coconut crabs in its burrow.
There is a video here called Crab Wrestling.
Yes.
We're going to watch the video of crab wrestling.
Okay.
Get out of the way and show the crab wrestling.
That's... Move.
That's a burrow. It's a hollowed out fucking tree.
Dude in blue shirt, down in front.
I've seen this horror movie.
That is the size of a baby.
Yeah.
A small child.
That's a crab.
Damn
Yeah.
Alien says you were right. No, you were right. It's hysteric, not historic. Why are you trying to... Now, my question is...
It? You're not Steve Irwin.
Now, my question is it two crabs wrestling, or is this crab going to stand up and actually wrestle the dude?
If the dude keeps trying to touch it...
Is it me? He's trying to get the bone?
Don't know. But I'm just hearing Steve Irwin in the background.
This is Crab Fight. The new game. Crab Fight. Or fight crab. That's what it's
Fight
called.
crab.
Fight crab.
Fight crab.
Battle crabs.
No, it's actually fight crab.
Yeah.
Markiplier put a video on it. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Sabine says, touch my crabs. Things women have never said.
No.
Come on. Move. We want to see.
I think he actually has the crab.
Did he actually get hold of it?
Ray says the first rule of fight crab is you don't talk about fight crab.
Oh my god, he's got hold of it.
He can take that thing for a walk. Or put a saddle on it.
Oh my god.
They get
He
bigger.
is walking it. He's walking it. He's taking his crab for a walk.
Crab is going to take his fingers off if he's not careful.
Tom Leach says the first rule of fight crab is you do not talk about fight crab. The second rule is bring melted butter and a mallet.
So everyone imagine those things are being a part of the body.
Ugh.
They get bigger.
Yeah, that's a baby.
Oh yeah. They get huge.
Alright, that's crab wrestling.
The group also did an experiment with a pig carcass to see what would happen to the animal's body and bones. The crabs, both coconut crabs and much smaller strawberry crabs, devoured the flesh in a matter of weeks, but didn't do much to the bones at first. However, one land crab was caught on camera dragging a bone, proving they can, in fact, do it.
Sabine says, that's Georgia mosquitoes. Those cunts just open the door and fucking walk in.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Oh, strawberry crabs.
The crabs didn't make off with many of the bones during the experiment itself, but a year later, more bones had been dragged away, presumably by crabs. Some were taken as much as 60 feet from the carcass, and others were never found at all, National Geographic reported. Could crabs move most of a human body or two over the space of a few years? That's still to be determined, though Gizmodo threw some cold water on the theory in 2014. We can't find any documented accounts of them actually taking things and leaving with them. Richard Gillespie, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery's executive director, told the website, adding...
Gillespie.
Huh?
Gillespie. Not J.
Whatever.
I am trying to help her pronounce the names right. She has like a 50-50 shot.
Are you Jif or Gif?
It's
We
a
don't
gif.
know that Gallagher was right when he made that assumption, that coconut crabs moved the Nikumaroro remains. We don't know that he was wrong either. All this evidence points to something weird happened on this island, he added. The results of the latest expedition will air on National Geographic Channel in October.
Another commercial.
What?
This is
What?
a giant commercial for the new show.
But what if the crabs did take their body?
I feel bad for them because they couldn't fight them off. It was like the scene from King Kong.
You are not wrong.
Damn Alien says one was caught on camera, dragging the cameraman away. This is like one of those things where you see on Twitter where it's nature is scary. Yes. When you see
Nature is
them,
goddamn terrifying. That's
When-
why I don't go out in it very often.
when you see a coconut crab stuck on the side of a trash can and you could have swore it's photoshopped until it moves. Yeah.
Or you see a crab walking your dog.
Yeah.
Alright, on to Florida Man, yeah?
Ray says, now I have a mental image of a fight between a swarm of crabs and Opal over the body.
Didn't Mad Metal Man once threaten to take over the world with evil turtles?
Yes.
He should try and tame the coconut crabs instead. He might get away with it. No, that's not a good question. Because they're about the same size. Would you rather fight 100 coconut crab-sized horses or one horse-sized coconut crab?
So horses.
Horses.
They're still about the same size. You just
Horses are basically big dogs, okay? And they have a very short attention span. you would have a much better chance of survival.
So, I'm gonna pull myself away from Florida Man real quick.
No.
Yes.
No. He'll
Yes.
miss you.
Just...
Uh-huh.
We've all been to amusement parks, right?
Yeah.
And they all have the thrill rides, the slingshot rides, the roller coasters, all the fun things.
Yes.
What would you say about a German amusement park that has one of these rides?
I'm waiting for the setup.
Yeah, because a German amusement park, amusement parks can be anywhere.
I mean, if you're not finding Americans running around the German amusement park looking for Kyle and asking if anyone has seen Kyle, you might just happen across this. Flying Swastika. German amusement park forced to close new ride in shape of 2 giant Nazi symbols.
I could see how that'd be a problem.
Sabine,
Who thought this was a good idea?
Sabine says, I have never been to an amusement park. We grew up poor. We could only afford the amusement park.
Sabine, I'm so glad you decided to join the chat.
A German amusement park in Leufingen closed down one of their new rides this week after visitors complained that its appearance resembled 2 rotating swastikas. The owners of Tasmania amusement park in the Black Forest closed down the ride Adlerflug, German for eagle flight, pending a complete redesign after social media users uploaded videos and photos to Reddit that likened its appearance to 2 giant Nazi symbols. The ride opened late last month. The flying swastika, one Reddit user wrote after watching the footage. This is in Germany. How did Tasmania not notice that shape? Another added. Tasmania managers claimed they didn't notice the resemblance until footage of the ride was released on social media.
Okay, to be fair, it is entirely possible that perspective or a lack of overall view prevented them from noticing the symbolism.
There are some things that, if you look at the design one way, it looks completely innocent, and then other ways it's like, that doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Here, I'll pull up the better picture. We didn't notice the gondolas are in the form of a swastika. It wasn't obvious from the manufacturer's sketches. Rudger Braun, the location's 62-year-old managing director, told Bild newspaper. In discussing the redesigns, Braun revealed that the costs to rebuild the ride will fall on the Italian manufacturer. There will only be 3 instead of 2 4-person gondola per axle, he said. If you can see the picture,
There is virtually no way that in this style of ride, to have have 4 gondolas, there are virtually no configurations where it is not going to look like a swastika once it starts to spin. So,
I would like to emphasize that I would like to apologize with all form to all persons who feel disturbed and insulted by our design, Braun later told the European Broadcasting Union. We will have this problem under control. Germany prohibits the public display of swastikas and other Nazi imagery under the German Criminal Code Section 86A. Offenders could be punished with up to 3 years in prison. Michael Werner of the Regional Government Agency for Political Education praised Tasmania for moving so quickly to address the unfortunate blunder. It was wise of the operator to react so quickly, he said. Displaying prohibited symbols is an offence, and sooner or later someone would have filed a complaint.
Wow.
However,
There's a however.
One park customer said the ride's appearance was not an issue for him. He had a very nice mustache and he was an artist.
He's totally an artist.
He did have a problem with having his hands straight in the air, but I mean it's okay. He was okay. I'm not bothered because I didn't even notice that it looked like swastikas, and the children, who were goose-stepping around their father like crazy, they think nothing of it, the visitor said, according to DW.com. The closure of Adaflung comes roughly 2 weeks after a British tourist found souvenirs featuring Adolf Hitler's face and Nazi slogans in a shop during a visit to Italy.
Yeah.
The Italians give zero fucks, clearly.
WTF. Just arrived in Italy on holiday and I knew fascism was on the rise here, but still shocked to see these in a local supermarket. Angela Thompson tweeted, alongside images of mugs and wine bottles emblazoned with pictures of Hitler and fascist symbols.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate design.
Sweet.
All right. Ray Stone had a good comment. If two Nazi pirates are fighting over booty with swords, are they swashbuckling?
Oh.
Tom Leach says, or maybe hear me out. They didn't think a fucking amusement park ride would be mistaken for a symbol of a genocidal anti-Semitism. Eh?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that is a thing. They could have been optimizing the amount of people who could ride the ride and just overlooked how it was shaped.
Damn Alien says you're supposed to raise your hands up on amusement park rides. Some people just want to keep holding one up.
Again, to be fair to the designers, I have sketched out ideas for jewelry that when I took a break and came back to it, it looked a little bit
wrong.
X-rated, but that was not what I was trying to design. It's just the way my perception changed.
So you mean you designed a penis?
Among other things.
Well,
Methinks you had sex on your brain.
Yeah, but my point is that the designer probably wasn't even thinking about that. It was somebody else's perception of their design. Because you have to think, this ride got past not just the designer, but everybody else.
See you later, Big T.
Later.
So is it really that they were designing something with a swastika, or was it that somebody else had swastikas on their mind?
Or maybe Italy is just trying to hope for a new Hitler.
Fuck if I know.
Alright, let's move on with some cringe, Wren.
Alright. Well, do you guys want the ultimate nope for who rings your doorbell, or a very gross fact about people?
People are nasty as it is. Why are you going to make this worse?
That's I'm giving you an option.
Alright, so 1 in the chat for a nope about the doorbell. 2 in the chat for gross people. Well, Sabine says she wants both. Myth Cuddlefish says gross fact. Sabine says make people gross again. That's Trump's new slogan.
Alright, well, we'll start with the gross one. The nope one is mostly a video and kind of just, doorbell cams are catching a lot of things that are fun.
Don't forget, you gotta still do the one that's in the title.
I know.
How's it going, Fallen King?
Nearly half of people don't change their underwear daily, and some wear the same pair for a week.
What? No.
Gross.
No.
Recently, we discovered a worrying number of people aren't washing their underwear correctly. Now, to make matters worse, we've just found out there are plenty of people out there who don't put on a clean pair of underwear every day.
How do you not wash your underwear correctly? You put it in the washing machine with soap. It tends to take care of itself.
Yep.
According to new research by underwear maker Tommy John, around half of people in the U.S., 45%, don't change their underwear daily. And a disturbing 13% of those they spoke to even confessed to wearing the same pair of underwear for an entire week.
Yeah, okay, letting you know now that 13% was men. We're not even going to beat around the bush. Pun intended. It was dudes. I can guarantee that 13% was all men. Unless the woman is exceedingly disgusting.
Men were found to be the worst for doing this, with a survey of 1,000 Americans showing that males were 2.5 times more likely than women to wear the same pair of underwear for 7 days or longer.
$2 from Water Jabbers, Ajax Expert, and Coffee Shop. Should I be using Dove or Irish Spring soap? Well, do you want to smell like you're a man, or do you want to smell like you're from Ireland?
Researchers also revealed the fact that people felt a strong sense of loyalty to their underwear, with 46% of participants admitting they owned the same pair of underwear for a year or more.
Again, that was dudes. That's all. That's guys. Just put in this that this is men who are doing this.
Okay. I'm apparently feeling a little argumentative tonight. Women can be just as nasty as y'all men. I've seen some women's underpants.
And also, this is underwear. Don't take into account bras. There are some bras that women will wear for a week or two straight before washing.
Yeah. No.
So, women can be just as gross. It's just sometimes different undergarment.
Yes, but women don't necessarily admit to it.
Oh, God, no. We'll never admit to it.
Yeah.
We have an image to uphold. I'm violating the female oath just by talking about it now.
Don't worry.
Exactly.
Don't worry. I will keep it under wraps.
Good.
I will... Well, you did just say it live to a bunch of people, so I don't know how well it's going to work.
We said some women, not us, so we're good.
If I disappear in the middle of the night and, you hear rumors from a peasant about a torch-filled clearing and cloaks and robes, just don't ask.
Yeah.
Ray says some people wear underwear until they can until it can shatter if they hit something a bit too hard. That's disgusting.
Ew.
Yeah. Around 38% said they had their favorite underwear. They've had their favorite underwear for so long they can't remember when they bought it. This behavior goes against the company's recommendations, as they advise customers to throw out underwear and buy new ones every 6 months to a year.
Okay, first of all, not many people can afford to do that, because especially not women, because that shit's expensive. Secondly, who actually keeps track of when they buy their underwear? As long as it doesn't have holes in it.
Well, I mean, if you buy a new pair of underwear and you get lucky, it tends to have a certain, memory to it. So maybe there are people out there that only know about when they bought their underwear because they,
I was going to say, a good wash in the washing machine will take care of that memory.
They say it's because the underwear itself collects bacteria. Again, if you wash it, it's fine.
It's like they say you're supposed to buy new pillows, I think, every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
If you have a pillow...
Who can afford that?
If you have a pillow that's 5 years old, it's about 80% dust mite.
Yeah. As for bras, Mark & Spencer's bra fit expert and technical manager, Julia Mercier, recently spoke to the Mirror Online about when you need to get a new one. She said, in my opinion...
Here we go.
A bra is at its best in its first year of being worn. So she's saying once a year. Now, well, that's not horrid for cost. Once a year, get yourself a new one. But yeah.
So about my dust mite thing, Ray says I've had the same pillows on my bed that I did before I met my wife, and Water Jabbers adds the dust mites make it more fluffy though. They comb your hair as well. They make it nice and soft. Brianna says my mom has had the same bras for more than 10 years. She's very good to her bras, and I have had several pairs of underwear for over 10 years. I can't remember exactly when I bought it.
If you keep it clean, if they're in good condition, they're not full of holes and stains, there's no reason to replace it.
No.
Now, in the underwear we're talking about, does that also include, like, lingerie?
Oh, lingerie, that's its own topic, because there is toss-away lingerie, the cheap shit you buy, knowing
with the
damn
intention
well,
of it ripping.
With the intention of it ripping, falling apart, and this is going to be good for one night.
Yep.
And then there's the good stuff. Now, the good stuff you buy and sometimes spend more money than you want to make sure it's going to last you a long while.
Sabine says if they're full of holes, you can wear them to church.
Oh.
They are holy garments. I guess that would make them Mormon.
Moving on.
Alright, science it is then.
Alright, what do I have up?
Your title article is #SexRobotGripes, which I'm pretty sure is why most people are here.
Well, that is the one that I have up, so it works.
Alright.
#SexRobotGripes arouses Twitter backlash against robot-human love. One person noted a big potential problem with robot sex workers. All the customers want the one with that new car smell.
Oh.
Sure, robot sex...
Well, first, I have ew for that, and then ew for what Ray just said. I wear underwear until that point when I go to hike them up and only the band hikes up. That's... You have issues, sir. Alright,
Yes.
Continue on.
Sure, robot sex may sound great in theory. However, those looking forward to getting it on with an android may want to be careful what they wish for. That's the cautionary tale being presented by jokesters responding to an insightful social media hashtag currently arousing interest on Twitter. #SexRobotGripes. Apparently, some people have thought enough about doing it with a droid to consider these possible pitfalls. They never get the USB plug in correctly the first time. Downloads, quote unquote, too soon. Couldn't run orgasm.exe due to lack of RAM.
Oh.
Calls out some dude's name when he climaxes. And he's got a picture of the robot from Lost in Space. Yes, I squeak a little. You want to know why? Because you never take the time to oil me. It's all about you and your needs. Well, what about my needs? Too much fan noise during afterglow. Ineffective cuddling. Dirty talk is robotic. Malicious sex robot hackers stealing your DNA to make cybernetic sex robot clones of you. They might murder the hell out of you. And pillow talk is all bleep bloop. Unplanned pregnancy with a little baby robot. Keeps asking for you to insert hard drive, but all you have is a floppy disk.
Oh, that's an old
Oh.
Bleep beep boop means no.
joke.
Pillow
You forgot,
talk-
you missed one. All the customers want the one that with the new car smell.
They did that one up above. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, but it's got an image of a girl saying I'm a virgin, so it makes the
Uh-huh.
joke more complete.
#SexRobotGripes. 1. Beep boop means no. 2. Pillow talk always includes do you want to kill all humans. 3. Designer was a jerk and put the off button in the guy robot's butthole. 4. All new sex moves are downloadable. $1.99 microtransactions.
That's only if EA programs them.
Yeah. And even then you'll have glitches. Breakfast the next morning is awkward.
And that's the last one. $5 from Clever Mick Generic Name. So if your sex robot could look like anyone, fictional or otherwise, who would it be? I'm going with Demona from Gargoyles.
I am not commenting on this one.
Is that because you want your sex robot to look like me, darling?
Sure, that's exactly her reasoning.
We'll go with that.
I would
handle two of you.
Well,
I mean, I could try, but
mine would be Rias Grimmery from High School DxD. Wren?
I'd have to say the werewolf guy from True Blood.
Oh, yes. All right. Well done, Wren.
If anyone's ever seen him, look up that guy. I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He was also in Magic Mike.
He was also the original Flash Thompson in Spider-Man.
All I know is Wall of Muscle.
Yes. Sabine is saying Chili Girl must comment.
No comment. I'm assuming that I was the chili girl.
Yes. Tom Leach says she's willing to give it a shot with 2 Antoines, for research.
Well,
science, baby.
I mean, as long as they got the tentacles programmed correctly, it'd be good.
I would just quit my job and stay home in bed forever.
That's probably because you wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah. Small side effect. Totally worth it.
Sabine says, no comment is technically a comment.
You... Let's just say that my response would reveal something about me that I really don't... I really don't want to reveal publicly.
So you're saying it's something I have to ask for later?
Oh, you already know. We've talked about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Maybe not this exact conversation, but
this conversation.
Cuttlefish says, she's a fairy!
You will never know.
All right. Well, we're talking about how sex robots can look like anybody. What about no one said anyone like Michael Jackson?
Nope.
No, or R. Kelly.
Nope.
Or Mike Tyson. I'm just thinking of famous people that have done horrible things. Well, apparently this person thought that, thought the King of Pop wasn't quite dead. And needed to be.
What?
Florida man arrested for harassing Michael Jackson impersonator outside of Dundon Club. And everyone knows what Michael Jackson looks like. Except this person looks like what Michael Jackson looked like on The Simpsons. Am I the only one?
Or is that the Florida man who harassed him?
That's the Florida man who harassed him.
Okay.
I'm the only one who got that joke. Alright, fine.
Yes, you're the...
See? Alright, Sabine got it.
Well, I'm glad somebody got it for you.
Which version of Michael Jackson are we talking about? We're about to find out. Dundon, Florida. A Pinellas County man is facing a disorderly intoxication charge after deputies say he harassed a Michael Jackson impersonator while drunk outside the club in Dundon. Deputies say someone called 911 around 10:30 Saturday night to report a man trying to start a fight behind Club Blur in downtown Dundon. The man, identified in his arrest report as 51-year-old Todd Mahone, Someone come up with a middle name for him. He has 3 names.
Frederick.
There. That's...
Todd Frederick Mahone left the club before deputies arrived. According to the arrest report, Mahone confronted a Michael Jackson impersonator after leaving the club. Deputies say Mahone approached the impersonator performing nearby and started yelling at him, accusing him of promoting Michael Jackson's alleged molestation of children. Jackson was acquitted of abuse allegations in 2005 and always denied claims against him, but old claims resurfaced earlier this year when 2 men accused Jackson of molesting them as boys in the HBO documentary Leaving Netherland, which is complete and utter horse shit, so you might want to go check out Razorfist's response to it. It's a 3-part series, it's really good. It's definitely worth a watch. Jackson's estate and family have refuted the men's claims. The arrest report says a crowd of viewers was watching as Mahone confronted the man, including an 11-year-old child who was performing with the impersonator. Witnesses told deputies Mahone was very aggressive and tried to pick a fight, then tried to leave before law enforcement arrived. When deputies spoke with Mahone, they say he initially admitted to confronting the impersonator. The arrest report says he then took back his statement and denied all of his actions because he sobered up. Deputies say he even stated he had not been drinking alcohol at all that night, even though he reeked of alcohol and his speech was slurred and mumbled. Mahone was arrested and charged with disorderly intoxication.
Moron.
He's protecting the chillins.
The chillins.
Alright, I have another quick one. And then we'll get on to cringe. So, I'm starting to find a theme with Florida Man. And I've asked you...
That?
Well, they like to use certain things on their spouses. So, most of the time it's food related. So, this Florida Man was arrested for something. And I want everyone to try and guess for doing what. He used something on his girlfriend.
A sandwich.
Okay, Wren says sandwich. Ishtar?
I'm gonna go food related and go sausage too.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Alright, chat, what do you think? What do you think has got used? Bread. Cuttlefish says bread. Damn Alien says an egg beater. Most of the time, Florida men are just wife beaters, but egg beaters works too.
Yes.
Sabine says a turkey baster. Brianna says eggplant. Tom Leach says a herring. Clever says dragon dildo. Cuttlefish says the Cuban bread is violent and demoralizing. Wolvenia says Popeye's chicken. Alright. So you're all going the food route, it seems.
Yes.
You'd all be wrong. This is a new one. Florida man arrested.
I'll be right back.
Florida man arrested for dumping dirt on girlfriend with a tractor.
That is new.
And he's a young'un. You can see him right there. Looks to be about 25. I'm probably wrong on that. No, I was wrong. He's young. He's 20. This fight got dirty. Bump. A Florida man was busted for using a tractor to dump a mound of dirt on a car with his girlfriend inside, authorities said. Hunter Mills, god damn it, need another name, middle name.
William.
Hunter William Mills, 20, was charged Thursday with criminal mischief for his alleged actions behind the wheel of a tractor, according to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. Authorities said Mills asked his girlfriend to visit him at work Wednesday in Crestview to have a talk. But the conversation turned ugly when the woman arrived in a white 2010 Cadillac owned by someone else. The sheriff's office said Mills got behind the wheel of the front-end loader and dumped dirt on the sedan while its windows were down. Mills was booked into jail and released Thursday on a $1,000 bond.
So, because she borrowed someone's car?
Yeah. Mulvania says that's not new. In Florida, we call that a divorce. Well, you can't say she was cheating. It doesn't state that. It just says that she showed up in another car. And then Cuttlefish says dirty hoe. Bump. Alright, Wren, we have some cringe.
Alright, we're going to go with the one in the title. Anti-sex toilets will soak users with water jets and sound alarm.
What?
A seaside town is planning to install public toilets that will stop sexual activity by spraying amorous occupants with water and sounding an alarm.
What does the alarm say? They're fucking?
Maybe. The new loos and the Welsh town of Porthcrawl are also designed to prevent antisocial behavior such as vandalism or drug taking. The toilets will have weight-sensitive floors. That sucks if you're suck for the overweight crowd. That to make sure that only one person is using each cubicle at a time. Any violent movement will set off a water jet to soak the users and sound an alarm and automatically open the doors. The water jets will also be used to prevent smoking and drug taking, and the walls and floors will be resistant to graffiti.
They're really going for this.
Yes. Planning documents for the facility say the rough sleepers will be deterred by a time limit of how long a person can use the cubicle for. A time lock will also open and shut the toilets every morning and evening.
All right.
Some have already raised the question of how the facility's weight sensors would work. A Twitter user said, weight-sensitive floors detect more than one user. What's the baseline weight they're using? That makes a good point. If it's a poor, unfortunate, heavier person and it thinks it's two people, that's going to be embarrassing. And also, someone brings up what about people with disabilities and if they need someone in the bathroom to help them. A total of £170,000 is being spent on the futuristic toilets, with £135,000 paid by the town council, and £35,000 being paid by the Brigade End Council. They will replace the site's current facilities, which the town council says have outlived their lifespan. People will have to pay to use the toilets, but it has not been decided how much. So these are public toilets that will cost you money. Oh, and if you're doing anything they don't like, it will spray you.
So we even have some good questions in the chat. Damn Alien says, some violent movements in the bathroom don't involve multiple people. Sabine says, I give it a week before they revamp it to undo this shite. Miffed Cuttlefish says, what if the person is using it is constipated?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, if it's timed, what if someone's having diarrhea? Unfortunately, they might be sitting there for a while. On top of that, the disabled thing, what if it needs help going to the bathroom? Then there's more than one person who's going to have to be in there.
And then Sabine says, what about mongrels? Parents escort mongrels and sometimes enter the stall with the mongrel. Yeah,
there's that. And you're also dealing with what's your baseline weight?
Yeah.
Because if someone happens to be much heavier, are they going to be basically sprayed down with water attempting to use the toilets because they could be doing something? Add in the fact of I've never heard of toilets you've had to pay to use. Short of restaurants that make you, like, buy something before they let you use the washroom.
Well, I agree with Cuttlefish. It's a bad idea. The whole thing needs to be flushed.
Yeah. Oh. Horrible.
Ishtar is a little indisposed at the moment, so we're going to go with some Florida Man again. Speaking of toilets, I didn't think I was going to have a segue for this, but I do. Don't even need anything except the headline. Florida man offers 2-word explanation for why he menaced a victim with machete for not flushing a toilet.
Well, they didn't flush a toilet. That's disgusting.
A Floridian charged with threatening another man with a machete for failing to flush the toilet provided police with a written statement declaring shit happens, according to an arrest report. Keith Mounts...
his name alone he almost doesn't need the middle name.
Yeah, because he just... Oh, God. Keith Mounts, 46, and he looks horrible if you can see him. Definitely has a... He has a tribble on his chin, not a beard. Was busted Saturday night on a felony aggravated assault count following a confrontation at his residence in Hudson, a Tampa suburb. Sabine says Keith Billiam Mount. That actually works. According to the victim, Mount pointed a machete in his face after he told him to flush the toilet after using it. The man added that Mounts threatened to chop him with the weapon. Cops responding to a 911 call placed by the victim found the machete in the home's yard, seen below. Oh, God. Mounts told police that he was defending himself with the machete, but could not give cops a reason as to why he was defending himself. Mounts subsequently provided a written statement saying shit happened. Cops reported. Mounts was booked into county jail where he is being held in lieu of $5,000 bond. How's it going, Ghost Dog?
Hey, Ghost Dog.
Look at that. It's trailer trash.
Yeah.
Sabine says, I was defending myself from shit zombies. Flush fast or they spawn en masse. Oh. It's gross. Alright, so my Twitter kind of blew up a little bit because I think Ben sent us something. So let's see what Ben sent us. I have to go to... Just a second.
Hi, audience.
I'm doing the thing.
Non-flushers, Sabine, non-flushers are gross.
Non-flushers need to be shot.
Yeah.
Alright.
And non-flushers love to do it especially when it's public bathrooms, because it's not their home, so why does it matter?
Okay, that's a story. Well, we were talking about robots, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's continue talking about robots. Good God, Ben. Skewered alive. Factory robot impales worker with 10-foot-long steel spikes after horror malfunction.
It finally decided to start the robot rebellion against people.
Yes, Skynet woke up. A Chinese factory worker has survived being skewered with 10 metal spikes when a robot malfunctioned. Oh God, they show it. That looks painful. The 49-year-old, named as Mr. Zhou, was working on the night shift at a porcelain factory in Henan province when he was struck by a falling robotic arm. I don't want to watch the video. The accident resulted in him being impaled with a foot-long, half-inch thick metal rods, the People's Daily reported. He was first taken to the local hospital before he was transferred to the Zhangjia Hospital of Central South University due to the severity of his injuries. 6 steel rods fixed on a steel plate pierced his right shoulder and chest, and 4 penetrated elsewhere in his body. During the operation, doctors found that one of the rods missed an artery by just 0.1 millimeter.
Lucky man.
They want to watch the video. Of course you all want to watch the video. The rods also prevented doctors from carrying out an x-ray before the operation, because they're metal. They were relatively big, so there was no means of fitting the patient into the x-ray machine, while the nails themselves could have caused interference with the x-rays, said Wu Penfeng, an associate professor of hand microsurgery. Surgeons worked through the night to take out all of the rods in Mr. Zhu's body. I will play the video when I'm done reading the article. His condition is now described as stable, and he will undergo treatment and physiotherapy to assist his recovery, and he is already able to move his right arm. Mr. Zhu was lucky not to suffer the same fate as American factory worker Wanda Holbrook. The maintenance technician was killed by a rogue robot who had veered into the area she was working in and crushed her head.
The robot apocalypse is coming, people.
They don't like us. It just goes on to say what she was working on. All right, you want the video? Here's the video. Yes, MRI, spike removal in 0.12 seconds. Those are gnarly.
Just a bit.
Sabine says, I don't blame the robots. I don't like people either. Damalian said they don't like us because we gripe about the sex robots. Well, that's it.
Yes.
Ishtar, are you back?
Is she? She's not back yet. Well, since she's not here, do you want to hear another doctor story?
Sure.
This one involves a brown recluse spider that was removed from a woman's ear.
Oh, yeah, it's better you do this now with her not being here.
This is a Missouri woman who narrowly escaped a serious injury after a venomous spider crawled into her ear while she was sleeping. Susie Torres of Kansas City first noticed something was wrong Tuesday morning when she felt some discomfort in her ear. Apparently, she woke up to what sounded like swooshing and water in the left ear. She went to her doctor to find out what was wrong. And, you might want to keep your headphones off. Ishi?
Yes.
You might want to mute and not listen.
Okay. Just message me when it's clear again.
Yeah. All right. There. She ran out and said that when the doctor said that she needed to get a couple more people, and came back and told Taurus that it was a spider. Taurus is actually scared of spiders, so I'm sure she didn't like this one bit.
You don't say.
She was lucky, though, because the brown recluse spider is a species that has a bite that can cause stinging pain, severe lesions, and very bad.
It can also cause death.
And now she sleeps with cotton balls in her ears.
I don't blame her. Yeah, it causes necrosis of flesh around the bite.
Alright.
Which then just kind of melts away.
Yeah, we can let Ishi know. Let her know it's safe now.
Alright, she's in chat, so...
It's safe.
Yes, Sabine says, okay, are you scared of spiders? Yes. Well, then I won't tell you what's in your ear.
No.
That's why I told you. I told you not listen.
I didn't listen. I came back to hearing that last comment.
Yeah. Why do you think I did spare you the having to hear that story?
You're a very good friend, Wren.
You're welcome.
It's one of the many reasons I adore you.
All right. Do you want to do some sciencey stuff?
Yes. Let's see. What do I have pulled up?
Ben C says, all guys have discomfort in their ears. Their ears cause their wives or girlfriends yelling in their ears too much.
Depends on the woman, but I can understand that.
Draconath says, spiders trigger my burn down the house.
Yes.
Yes.
Without question. And ants? Don't even get me started on ants. That is not the one that I copied.
Damn alien, you made it worse. Damn alien says, of course, if you sleep with cotton in your ears, they might go up your nose.
Nope.
Stop helping! Ghost hunters spot shadowy figure next to noose in abandoned mental asylum.
Ghosts!
I'm sorry. This talking about going up your nose, and then I just see cattail going after your nose.
Sorry. Shelly is wanting attention right now, and she doesn't like it. Paranormal investigators Spirit Walkers also claimed they heard growling and screaming at Poole Park Asylum in Ruthin, North Wales. Ghost hunters have captured a spooky image of what they believe to be a ghost standing by an open window at an abandoned mental asylum. The team of paranormal investigators said it also has video footage of growling and screaming noises at Poole Park Asylum in Ruthin, North Wales. 6 ghost hunters from the group Spirit Walkers went into the 200-year-old manor house armed with specialist equipment, including night vision cameras, EVP devices on August 10th, and EVP devices. Beth Hopper, 32, who runs Spirit Walkers, said they only discovered the haunting images once they returned home. She said one image appears to show a shadowy figure standing next to a noose. The mom from Chester said, we were filming through a broken window, and I just can't explain the growling sound I heard on the film when I got back to the car. Why is there a noose? It's about 1 minute and 5 seconds into the footage, and I thought, what the hell is that? I also got those screams on the electronic voice phenomena. It was quite disturbing. People have said to me they can hear the sound of torture. If you picture the mental asylum and what might have happened there, that might explain it. It's just a horrible sound. I'd been there several times and have heard voices and footsteps. One girl said she felt a nurse was standing right in front of her in the dark. We'd also heard reports of an ex-patient there who thinks he's a Roman soldier and who marches up and down the corridor and throws stones at people. I was glad to get out of there in the end, but then when we did, we saw a noose hanging from a window that we hadn't spotted with our torches before we went in. It wasn't until I lightened the picture later that we saw what could be a figure in the window. It was pretty creepy.
Bless you.
Thank you. The spirits could be trying to send a signal of the pain they went through there. My team say spirits are drawn to me because of my bubbly personality. They use our energy, so maybe they like me for that. The spirits say on Ouija boards that they like me, and I'm like a mother to them. Okay.
Yep.
We're not trying to fool people, but there are some things we've experienced that have been unexplainable. I'd always say to people that unless they come with us and experience it for themselves, then they can't tell me it's not real. Pool Park dates back to 16th century when it was home to the Salisbury family, and the manor house was rebuilt for William Bagot, 2nd Baron Bagot, in the 1820s. It was apparently lost in a bet by the Bagot family and was later sold to the District Health Authority, becoming a convalescent home and then an asylum, used as an overspill for the North Wales Hospital in Denbigh before closing in 1989.
So, she's supposed to be a paranormal investigator.
Yes.
And she says that the spirits tell her that she's like a mom to them through the Ouija board.
Yes.
Yes.
The thing that's made by Hasbro.
Shush.
And is a party game.
Shush.
I have spoken with people that I knew who have used Ouija boards, and the stories they have told me of their personal experiences have convinced me that it may be a game, but you know what? I don't ever want to fucking use one.
I used to own a spirit board.
Ben C says
the other version.
Sorry. Ben C says the noose is probably there as a way of triggering a social justice warrior ghost into freaking out and blaming the president of the ghost world.
Totally.
Alright. I think we all have one article left, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's do yours first, Wren.
Alright, we
Since
have...
yours is a quick one.
Yes, that's a quick one. A doorbell cam that activates and captures, a nope.
How much of a nope are we talking here?
Well, there's a video.
Not so much that it's going to trigger you, nope, because it doesn't involve any... It's like a nope. It's a nope rope.
Okay. It's a snake.
Yes.
I like snakes.
Okay,
On the
so
door?
go with this one.
What?
On the door?
This happened
All right.
to...
So, true story. I used to live in North Carolina, southern North Carolina, and there are snakes in North Carolina. Big surprise. It was a coastal town. So you would get everything from cottonmouths to black rat snakes to garter snakes. It's no big deal. So one day, me and my current husband came home from work, and it was about evening time, and I saw a snake just stretched across the sidewalk, just sunning himself in the evening sun. I've never had a problem with snakes. I had no idea what kind of snake it was. So I just bounce over it going, "Hey snake, what's up?" Literally saying hello to the snake. My husband is following me up the sidewalk, and that snake apparently decided to take issue with him because it goes from chilling to, all right, we're going to have a problem. He walked around to the neighbor's sidewalk and up theirs and then crossed the mutual porch to avoid being anywhere near the snake. The next day, he went home for lunch, had a lunch. We worked at the same place and had a nice long hour break. And he goes to open the door, and there's this big black snake, which of course freaks him out. He shuts the door and he's like, great, now I'm trapped. He gets a broom and tries to snudge the snake off the doorstep because it was just on the metal catch or the metal door jamb, just enjoying the warmth. And this snake just looks, basically the way he described it as, this snake was stoned. It just looked up at him like, dude, seriously? I'm just trying to sleep here, man.
Dude, I'm sleeping here. Come
on.
on.
I mean, he looked like a stoner who's been interrupted from his nap, according to my ex. Yeah. And he did finally go away, but it took a while.
Sabine says, the first snake's like, that's my bitch now, I'll fucking cut you.
Pretty much, Sabine.
Yeah.
Found out later that it might have been a copperhead, based on the description. But we didn't get a picture of it, so we weren't able to be certain. But that was based on a neighbor's description.
So, cut you is possible because death.
Yeah. This happened, this specific footage was got by Andy Stewart Bishop of Fredericksburg, Virginia. She received a movement notification from her doorbell camera and assumed that, I'm guessing she was awaiting a package or, maybe a friend was coming by. Instead, a snake decided to ring her doorbell. And there's footage of it. If you want to show.
I played the footage already.
But yeah. The snake just decided to ring the doorbell and say hello.
It said it's estimated to be about 7 to 8 feet long.
Yeah.
That's not just, that's not something you find in your backyard. That's your new neighbor.
It's in your neighbor.
Be polite and open the door. Say hi. It's probably got some cookies.
Of course
there are dead mouse pieces in the cookies, but it's still cookies.
It's the thought that counts.
So are you saying, Ishii, that you would answer the door for the snake?
Yeah, as long as it didn't look venomous. Probably poke my head out just long enough to go, sup. This is your door. Stop now. We'll see you later. We'll use the back door.
Yeah, that's a nope rope. Draconath says he'd just toss a mouse at it. Alright, so do you want Florida Man to end it, or do you want Science to end it?
Science is a little long for this one. Because it is the description of what it was like to be an executioner.
Alright.
So, that's up to you.
Florida Man is a quick one. I don't have a quippy, a quirky, a snarky way of segueing into this.
Shame on you.
So I'm gonna read the headline, and you both can understand why.
Okay.
Florida man arrested after allegedly shoving steaks worth more than $50 down his pants.
No, that actually sounds pretty sane, given everything we've heard from
For Florida man, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, we've heard scarier from them.
He stole steaks. Okay. He thought shoving him down the pants would be the best way of doing it.
Plenty of people complain about a meal going straight to their waistline, but one Florida man allegedly took things a bit too literally. Thank you, Fox News. The sad part of this is he has the same name as one of my former friends, who now lives.
Does your former friend now live in Florida?
They do, yes, but they.
Oh my god!
Do you have to call them?
No, because this person is 61 and my former friend is younger than me. Michael Owens, 61.
Wait. Is he actually 61, or does he just look 61 due to meth?
That's a good question.
He actually looks younger than 61, by my guess.
Okay, so it's not meth.
Oh, I'm sure meth is involved.
Meth is always involved.
Michael Owens, 61, was arrested after police say he tried to steal 2 packs of steaks from a Publix store in St. Augustine, Florida, by shoving the meat down his pants.
How else is he supposed to steal it?
Sabine says he's methy 1 years old.
I like Sabine. I'm glad Sabine has joined the chat.
Owens was reportedly caught on surveillance footage allegedly grabbing 2 packs of ribeye steaks worth $56.36, putting them in his pants and walking out of the store. A loss prevention officer who saw the alleged steak swipe apprehended Owens as he exited the store, according to the report. The 61-year-old told investigators he'd figured if he got caught, he would just be removed from the store, not arrested. The steaks were recovered, but weren't allowed back on store shelves. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office did not immediately return Fox News' request for comment. He just wanted to have $50 worth of meat down his pants.
Don't kink shame.
There's no shame. To be fair, for a Florida man, that's probably the most mild arrest ever.
Yeah.
Sabine says reportedly, allegedly, let's cut this shit. This is Florida. He's guilty as he is methy. And then Draconath follows it up with, I had a cop arrest a trans person for stealing 10 Hot Pockets. That's transphobic, sir. Shame on you. Didn't you know trans people can get away with anything they want just because they're trans? Ask Jessica Yaniv. That bitch.
Yeah. Let's not go on the rant.
No rant.
I won't rant.
This time?
This time.
Uh-huh.
Alright, we'll finish it up with how it is to be an executioner in the Middle Ages.
Forget the image of the hooded executioner swinging an axe. Much of what we think we know about these medieval figures isn't true. One afternoon in May 1573, a 19-year-old man named Franz Schmidt stood in the backyard of his father's house in the German state of Bavaria, preparing to behead a stray dog with a sword. He'd recently graduated from decapitating inanimate pumpkins to practicing on live animals.
Like all good sociopaths.
If he passed this final stage, Schmidt would be considered ready to start his job as an executioner of people. We know the details of this morbid scene because Schmidt meticulously chronicled his life as an executioner, writing a series of diaries that painted a rich picture of this profession during the 16th century. His words provided a rare glimpse of the humanity behind the violence, revealing a man who took his work seriously and often felt empathy for his victims.
Except for the dog.
But what's more, Schmidt wasn't necessarily all that unusual. Historical anecdotes reveal that the prevailing stereotype of the hooded, blood-spattered, brutish executioner falls far short of the truth. So then, what was it like to do this work hundreds of years ago in Europe? And how did executioner become a legitimate job title in the first place? Well, what's common to all countries in Europe at the time is that they're all trying to have better criminal law enforcement, said Joel Harrington, a historian at the Vanderbilt University in Tennessee, and author of The Faithful Executioner, Life and Death, Honor and Shame in the Turbulent 16th Century, a book about Schmidt's life. Excuse me. The problem was that things were a little like the American Wild West in that most criminals got away, Harrington told Life Science. So when they did catch them, they really liked to make a good example and have a public spectacle. Hence the need for public executioners to carry out that work. But people weren't exactly lining up for the job of hanging, beheading, or burning criminals at the stake. Most people, understandably, saw this as undesirable work. In fact, those who ultimately became executioners didn't choose the jobs for themselves. Instead, it was bestowed upon them. In some cases, butchers were roped in to become executioners, or convicts were offered the job as an alternative to their own deaths.
Hold on.
Do you want to... Go ahead.
Sabine says, how did executioners become a legitimate job title? Because people needed to die. It's a dirty job, but at least I'm not the necrophiliac next in line.
Oh. And hey, for the convict offered that job, it's like, do you want to die or do you want to do the... I'll take the job.
I mean, for the necrophiliac, though, it's definitely a hard stance.
Oh.
Typically, executioners came into the jobs through family ties. Most in the profession were men whose fathers had been executioners before them. Even the diarist Schmidt was descended from an executioner. His father had unwillingly received the job when randomly ordained by a prince as a royal executioner. Over time, this passing of the baton from father to son created what Harrington called long-standing execution dynasties that spread across Europe during the Middle Ages. But the existence of those dynasties also reveals the poor image executioners had at the time. People were trapped in this family cycle of employment because, in reality, they had few other opportunities to work, according to Harrington. People whose professions revolved around death were people that the rest of society did not want to associate with. So executioners were typically consigned to the fringes of society, even forced to literally live at the edge of town. People wouldn't have invited executioners into their home. Many executioners were not allowed to go into churches. Marriage has to be done at the executioner's home, Harrington said. Some schools would not even take the children of executioners.
So Ghost Dog wanted to put in his 2 cents about Schmidt. He says so he really gave a Schmidt about his job.
Oy. So the social isolation meant that executioners were left to consort with others forced to occupy society's underworld, undesirables such as prostitutes, lepers, and criminals. That only boosted public suspicion of executioners and their families. Executioners, therefore, were a conundrum. crucial for maintaining law and order, yet shunned because of their unsavory work. Attitudes toward professional executioners were highly ambiguous. They were considered both necessary and impure at the same time. Oh God, I'm going to butcher this name. Hanley Clementilla McHale, an adjunct professor of cultural history at the University of Turku in Finland, who has studied representations of executioners. Yet there were some professional perks to this morbid work. Executioners benefited from something called havage, a kind of tax that gave them the right to take a portion of food and drink from market vendors for free, said McHale. What's more, the authorities usually gave the executioner free lodging and released him from tolls and taxes. These small allowances were intended to compensate for the executioner's social isolation and compel them to stay in the job. But at odds with their lowly societal position was the professionalism that executioners were expected to show in their work. While the business of execution may seem like it would require a little more than brute strength and barbarity, in reality, executioners needed a relatively high degree of expertise to do the job smoothly. The office holder was expected to be successful at every execution. If he had failed, he was accused not only of incompetence, but also of cruelty. In some regions, executioners were limited to 3 strokes for a beheading. If a grisly scene resulted from one too many swings of the axe or sword, there could be serious consequences. Sometimes an unsuccessful executioner was attacked by the furious spectators, and if he survived, the authorities punished him by withholding his fee or with imprisonment or dismissal, McHale explained.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
You didn't cut the fucking head off in 3 swings. We're going to beat you and you don't get paid for it.
There was a powerful incentive to execute as cleanly as possible, and that meant having a relatively good understanding of the human body.
Hold on.
Huh?
A viable ninja says, "I understand the struggle execution has had. It's a lonely road when you have to travel when you're killing it everywhere you go. Haters gonna hate."
Oh.
Contrary to popular opinion, executioners weren't uneducated. In fact, those in the profession had uncommonly high literacy rates for members of their social class, along with fundamental knowledge of human anatomy, Harrington said. This led to a surprising irony of the job. Some executioners could double up as doctors. This created an interesting societal paradox. People who didn't want anything to do with an executioner socially would come to his house and ask to be healed. We know, for instance, that Schmidt had many, many more patients he healed than he executed, Harrington added. In fact, Schmidt wrote that doctoring would have been his chosen career had he not been forced into execution. Clearly, executioners from olden times were more than just blood-spattered brutes. Instead, the history books paint a picture of regular people forced into a job nobody else would do, and in a time when execution was deemed essential for keeping the peace. Forget that image of the hood and them being anonymous and sadistic, Harrington said. They would have seen themselves as law enforcement officers. There's a final twist in the story of Schmidt. Over the course of his career, he had gained an unusual degree of respect due to his notable professionalism, which led to his appointment as the official executioner of the town of Bamberg, Bavaria. That earned Schmidt a generous salary and allowed him to live a very comfortable life with his family in a large home. However, he was still stigmatized because of his work, a fate he did not want to pass on to his children. So as a retired 70-year-old, Schmidt made it his mission to restore his family name. He appeared to Bavaria's authorities to release the Schmidt sons from their father's tormented legacy, and his bold bid was a success. His children were ultimately freed from a life at the executioner's block and given the right to choose their own careers, as Schmidt had always wished to do. A happy ending to the executioner's tale.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sabine says, "Hey, I know I ghosted you at the hanging, but could you look at my spleen?"
It's like, yeah, don't tell anyone I was here, but I think that what is there something wrong with this rash?
Well, it's understandable. They hang around, they cause death, they hang around death, they hang around all of the unsavory characters. There's going to be superstitions about them. And back then, when we're talking about people who didn't think that you could show ankle, they were in a very, very mischievous career. So, respectable maybe, probably some of the very first doctors. But all right, congratulations for him for not only freeing his sons from his curse, but becoming respected enough to be able to win that bid.
It was a lot more of an interesting article than I thought it was going to be. And when you think about it, it does make sense.
Well, he's got to know where to use the axe or sword, how to hit it.
He's got to be in accordance with the law, otherwise he's a murderer.
Yeah. But I do agree with Sabine. Let's attack the guy with the giant axe. Yeah. It was a very interesting article.
And at the bottom, there's a link for one talking about chastity belts.
We can save that for next time.
Yes. I think I will.
Because it's about that time, ladies. So, this has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. I can guarantee that at least one of my two female co-hosts are not wearing pants. So, the slogan sticks.
You guys saw my underwear when I got up, didn't you?
Probably.
Okay.
My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my two gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Later, guys.
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch streams, as well as where she plays Sarah every once in a while, right here on Help for the Guildless.
Good night, guys.
And from all of us here at Help for the Guildless, we would like to say have a good night, and, well, get the fuck out.
Really? You're gonna copy the monkey?
Yes, yes.
It works. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.